All right, so in this video, we're going to go over the $1 million product page template that I've put together over the years of working not only on my own brand that makes millions of dollars per year, but also with working with clients and all of that type of stuff. So we're going to go over exactly how you need to structure your product pages to convert as high as possible. Now, right before we get started, I just want to remind you to subscribe for weekly content just like this, where I break down all of the strategies that got me to millions of dollars per year in my brand, getting me my Shopify Silver bag and landing us on the Inc. 5000 list for 2025. Now, the main thing that we are going to, let me zoom out. The main thing that we're going to get into is actually breaking down a good landing page, a good product page versus a bad product page. And the thing that people really just fail at is that they're lazy with their product pages, because creating a product page is not very difficult. It's actually pretty simple. But when you look at a bad one versus a good one, it's just because they're lazy with it or they just don't know what to do. But I like to chalk it up to lazy people, because there's so much information on the internet that if you don't know what to put on the product pages, even just by looking at competitors or really like high-end brands that are doing well, you should be able to deduce what you should be putting on your product pages. So just don't be lazy with it. This is the biggest thing. Now, what a lazy product page looks like is usually it has confusing or boring photography that doesn't really help the person in their purchasing journey. It doesn't help them like find out why they should buy. It doesn't immediately speak to what the product is. They just have confusing or boring photography on the page. There's no psychology, there's no branding. It's basically just like all of the features that the person knows to do, they just throw that up there and they just expect it to sell their product. And even if your product is good, like I don't know what niche this product is, and sorry for calling out this brand, that's why I didn't put your name in it, but this product page is not helping this product at all. And I'm going to show you exactly why. I'll break down exactly why later on in this video. I just want to get my point across as to like what a good versus bad landing page does. Now, a good landing page, as you can see here, is it includes helpful product photography. So product photography that actually helps the person make a buying decision. It's very clear, and it shows it on body, and it shows it in environments that actually promote the reasons to buy the product. And I'm going to show you exactly what that means in a second. It's built with psychology in mind. It psychologically overcomes the price and the trust objections that people have, because if they haven't bought from you before, which is most people who are going to buy from you are going to be new customers, hopefully, you want to get over the psychology of them saying, oh, this is too expensive, or, oh, I don't know if this is the right product for me. I don't know how it's going to fit. I don't know if I like the feel of it. I don't know if I trust this company, essentially. You're going to actually psychologically break down each of those things, and I'll show you how. The last thing is that it never, ever lets the customer forget who they're buying from. You can see that there's the branded orange color is all over the page. There's branding on the page with their logo, obviously. Logo is always at the top. It doesn't disappear. A lot of people like to try and make the logo disappear, but you need to be consistently reminding people who they're buying from through color, through theme, through the general feel. You'll see that this is a very stylistic site, and we chose this. This is actually one of my clients. We chose this because of the motif of what we were trying to go for. And you'll never let the customer forget who they're buying from. And these types of, that why I called it printers, is because these types of product pages literally print. It's everything that you need to psychologically overcome any objections that your customers have. And so I'm going to go break down exactly what these pages look like right now. But just before I do that, if you want to work one-on-one with me to literally build something out like this for you specifically, all you have to do is click the link in the description and you can find a way to work with me one-on-one. I have a couple of different options for you to choose from. So go ahead and do that. Let's do a deep dive on the exact pages that I was just showing you above. Now, I did mobile version for this breakdown because that's how most of your customers are going to be viewing your brand, is through mobile. Usually brands see like anywhere from 60 to 90% of their traffic come from mobile. So I'm going to break down mobile. Let me zoom in here. So you'll see on a bad page, usually you have really unclear lead photos. realistically for me, right when I first saw this, I thought this was a long sleeve because of this random shadow that's coming off of like the hood of this car. But if you actually scroll way down, right, it tells you it's a sleeveless tee. And if you look deeply, you'll see, oh, that's a sleeveless tee. But the first thing right off the top of my head, I was like, long sleeve, because of those small little details that trick the brain immediately, because this person wasn't thinking about their photography as, I need to remove confusion as to what the product is right off the bat. That's the first thing you need to do. Do not confuse your customers off the bat. So it's an unclear lead photo. Going down further, I mean, one thing that I have to tell everyone who I usually end up working with is no one cares at all what the product is called. No one gives a fuck at all. No one cares what the product is called. So remove or move down the title of your products. It should not be the first thing. You have to remember, most people don't even scroll down past that first screen. They don't scroll. And so if you don't even have your add to cart button or like the ability to like add to cart anywhere in that first fold, most people won't scroll past that. And that's just data from me having literally millions of people visiting my site. They don't scroll. 60% of people land on the page and do not scroll, either left or right or up or down. They don't. And so don't waste your main real estate with like something that no one cares about. And then also never lead with price. You don't want someone to see the price and say, oh, that's too expensive. And you had no chance of them even adding it to cart or learning about the product or anything like that. So don't lead with price. And then breaking down a lot of this stuff, I see a lot of people will just like have features on the page that don't make any sense. Like, this is useless. There's only one color. So why are you taking up this space? This is also useless. Why are you taking up space with the gender? You don't need any of those things. People will come to your site because they want to buy. When they're here, they want to buy the product. And so don't like mess that up with like trying to give them options that don't matter. As well as quantity. Like, quantity selectors should only be in the cart. You want people on the product page to add it to cart as fast as possible. That's the function of this page. It's only supposed to get someone to click the add to cart button. That's all it's supposed to do. And so I'm going to show you in a little bit that I usually put my add to cart button at the top. And I'll show you exactly how that works, because that might sound kind of funny, but I'll show you. The buy with shop is useless. If someone's going to buy using their shop account, have them do it in checkout. Don't muddy up this process. You want to have them add to cart, and you want them to add multiple things to cart. That's all you want. You don't want them to like do a buy now thing on your product page. That does not do shit for you at all. And that's backed by the millions of visits I get. This is also useless. It's nice to tell people that you're 100% cotton, true to fit, all that type of stuff. But I'm going to show you a better way to do this so that it doesn't just like take up unneeded real estate. And then also, this is super cluttered. And so a lot of sites look like this, especially with beginner crowd of people who are just starting their brand. This is how a lot of their sites look. And it's because they don't really know what to do, or they're being lazy with it. And so I'm going to show you exactly what you should do. I'll break down exact structure that I use for my clients and for my brand that makes millions of dollars per year. So to start, let me zoom out here real quick. So to start, you want to have a clear product photo first, something that does not confuse the customer as to what it is. You know, this is a hoodie, and that's the main thing that you want people to be able to understand. You see the design clearly, it's lit well, and you know what it is. That's all that does. If they want to see more, they'll scroll on the page, and then that's where you show them additional designs. Obviously, this is a front and back design, so you have to show them the back, but then you show them how it fits on a person. And then you can also show environments and things like that, but this brand did not do that. They just show what it looks like. And that's exactly what you need to do. You need to not confuse them at first. And if they want to know more, that's where we're talking about, is if they want to know more, then they can scroll. Then from there, I'm going to have the variant and add to cart buttons first. First thing they can interact with on the page, other than the image, is going to be adding my size or changing it to my size, and then adding it to cart. Because like I said, most people don't scroll past this first part. And so If we don't give them the option to just choose their size and then add to cart, then the 60% of people aren't even going to get to that point. You see what I'm saying? So for here, let me zoom in. After that is when we're going to talk about price, because we want people to be able to impulse buy without thinking about price until they get to the cart or the checkout. That's where they should be doing price deliberation, and you can break down all of those things in the cart and at the checkout. But if someone is not sold yet and they do scroll and they want to purchase the product, but the price is here, I do what's called a price box. I want to show them the price and then give them a million reasons why that price is okay. You want to convince them to pay your price. And so the first thing that you can do is obviously the installments that Shop does. I don't give them the option to just buy with the Shop button, right? But I give them the option to buy in interest-free payments, because in this case, it's a higher ticket item, like $95. That's a lot for some people. But you can immediately break that down by saying you can pay in installments of $23, which is an amazing, price objection thing. Then you also want to show them why they should be buying from you. You want to tell them that the shipping for this brand, which I think all brands should do, is try to pre-stock those items, or at least do made to order items where it ships within 3 to 5 days. That's a huge objection for a lot of people, is like, am I going to get it fast at least? If I'm paying this price, am I going to get it fast? Yes, you're going to get it fast. If I don't like it after paying this price, I can return it within 30 days. And you should have a return policy. Obviously, if someone returns you some shit that they wore or like smoked in, or like the shit's messed up or something and opened and all that stuff, then if they return it that way, then you don't give them a refund, right? I say return unworn products. You need to be able to have some sort of return thing so that it gives them a risk-free way to buy from you. That is a price objection. They say, okay, well, I could get scammed for $95. No, you won't. You have a 30-day return policy. And then also I have reasons to buy this. Like if you see this thing right here, it says free shipping over $90. So they're going to get free shipping on this $95 purchase. That's amazing. And then also you have your stock counter, where I say, there's only 7 of these left. So whatever deliberation you're doing in your mind, there's only 7 left. So if you like it, buy it. So you have scarcity. This is amazing because it has price breakdown, it has trust, it has risk-free purchasing, it has a perk to purchase, which is the free shipping, which I always think people should have some sort of free shipping option at a certain price. And then it has scarcity. This is the psychology that I was talking about in the beginning. You need to have the psychology to break down why someone might not want to buy from you. If you're not doing this, then they're going to go buy from somebody else, or they're going to just save their money, because everyone has a clothing brand these days. The product can be amazing, but if you don't break down the psychology of why they should buy, then you're going to lose conversions doing that. That's just going to be plain and simple. Then we're going to follow that up with what's called a details box. This is where that person, where they just put like 100% organic cotton, true to fit, whatever. That's where I put this. But as you can see, all of these, they look big on this side where we're looking at, but all of these they're all drop downs. So in the grand scheme of things, if I zoom out, this is all very condensed. So you're giving just quick copy, like ships in 3 to 5 days, 30-day returns, all that stuff. If they want to learn more, they can break this all down, right? They can open it up. But in the grand scheme of things, they're able to scroll through this pretty easily and pretty fast. You're just giving them the bullet points as to what these are, but you're also like putting the most important things first, like installments, you're putting that first. Just ships in 3 to 5 days, 30 days of returns first. I like to put like an actual graphic for like the fit, the size chart, so that people can see right there exactly how it fits. You don't have to do like the whole tech pack style like I do, but I just put the size chart like right there, because that's a very important thing. And then if they want to, they can break down the details, open them up, break them down. If they really want to read this stuff. If someone has gotten past the price objection and the emotion of wanting to do the price stuff, then you need to break it down logically. The number one thing that people mess up is like the psychology of breaking down emotion, and then the psychology of breaking down logic. And that's what we've done with these 2 boxes. And you don't have to do them in boxes. In this brand, I had them in actual boxes, but you want to pair these two things together in that way. Now, the rest of it is basically run-of-the-mill stuff like related items and cross-sells, things that either are related to the item or that you can buy with the item. You want that there. And then I see almost every current brand right now missing out on this. Add a floating add to cart button to your site. And this pops up when you scroll past the first add to cart button. You have to remember, the only thing you're trying to get people to do on your product page is to add to cart. That's the only function of a product page. And then from there, there's other things to do. Your cart page should be doing other things. Your checkout page should be doing other things. But your product page is just to add to cart. That's all you want them to do. So if you look at the main difference, you can see cluttered information and features that don't matter. They're using useless features. They're cluttering up the whole thing just because they're trying to look different in the photography, and they don't necessarily know, or they're being lazy about these features and not having any psychology. There's no psychology as to why someone should buy. But then when you look at an actual professionally built page, it's all psychology. It's all about knowing the behaviors of people on your site. That's why we bring up the add to cart button. I know that very few people scroll on the page, so I put the add to cart button up here. And this was tested over millions of visits, and this is better. You don't want to confuse people with your photography. You show them and help them make a buying decision based on this photography. You don't confuse them. You don't clutter it up. And then from there, you're breaking down emotional psychology, and then you're breaking down logical psychology. And you want to make sure that your add to cart button is always visible. That's it. And then maybe offer some products that can go along with it. And that's literally the $1 million playbook for a product page. And we've tested it over millions of visits. We've tested it over thousands of products, and this is what works. So I hope you found that beneficial. Again, if you want to work with me on building this for your brand specifically, click the link down below to work with me directly to do that with your brand. And also like and subscribe, do all the YouTube stuff for my small channel to help it out, and watch some more videos, because I literally break down all the different strategies that make my brand millions of dollars per year and have scaled us to millions of dollars per year very quickly, quick enough to end up on the Inc. 5000 list. So go ahead and do that, and I'll see you in other videos.